Let's celebrate the Hollow Harvest as we journey into our review of Gnome Hollow.
Gnome Hollow is a set collection tile placement game about collecting mushrooms, and I had a great time playing with a couple of fun guys.
It's a cute theme with a familiar tile placement mechanic that's been popular with games over the past couple of years. We'll tell you all about it after this quick how to play. On each player's turn, they replace garden tiles, resolve mushroom rings, and move their gnomes.
Players place tiles in the garden to try and create rings of varying sizes.
Players collect mushrooms that are on the rings, which can be turned in for treasures containing victory points.
Bonuses can be earned when rings are formed depending on the ring size and where the ring marker is placed on the player boards.
Flower pots can also be collected and placed on top of player boards.
After a player gathers their 8th flower token, moves their 8th marker, or all the tiles run out, the end game begins.
Any player that hasn't gone in the round will get their turn, and every player will get one more gnome action before the game ends.
Players add up points from their flower pots, ring score, and treasure score to get their final total.
The player with the most points wins. We were given a copy of Gnome Hollow from the publisher so that we could do this review video and an unboxing video, which you can find below.
If you'd like to find out more information or to buy a copy of the game, check out our links in the description below.
Gnome Hollow is basically a tile placement game. On your turn, you're always going to place at least 2 tiles. You can place more if you have some in reserve, but for the most part, you're always going to be placing 2 tiles. And it's also a set collection game because as you place the tiles and you form rings, if your gnome character is on that ring, then you will get the mushrooms that are part of that ring. So you can get a yellow mushroom, a pink mushroom, a blue mushroom, a purple mushroom, or a red mushroom, and you'll collect those mushrooms and turn those in later to get treasure points. It's very similar to a lot of other games that we've definitely been playing recently and that have been really popular in the board gaming community over the past couple of years. Definitely Cascadia, definitely Power Plants, and other games that have you placing a tile, putting things on it, collecting things, turning things in for points, giving you abilities, things like that. I think that this is cute and the rules are a little simpler for this game than those games and other games that we've played. So this might be better for younger children. However, if you've played those games and you enjoy those games and you're like, I don't need any more of this style of game, this may not be something that excites you. But if you haven't played any of those games, I would definitely recommend playing this one because it's a good intro game to those familiar mechanics.
When we saw it at Gen Con, when we got it to the table, a lot of games like this, like the kind of a garden or plant theme, like I always associate it with like just being chill, like just the vibes of like peacefulness. Now, not to be fooled, this can be kind of competitive, but overall, my overall like thought of playing this game was just like, oh, okay, it's a fun game, picking up mushrooms, like, you got me on the, you got the mushroom there, you kind of say it I kind of say it with a smile on my face, but I really couldn't get into like the competitive aspect, although it's there, but this whole thing just kind of gave me some really good vibes. So if you're into that, definitely check it out.
I really like the production quality of this game, and I really like these boards. When we were doing our unboxing, we weren't sure why they were so heavy, but they actually have a piece of metal inside so that they're magnetic. Then you have these magnetic pieces for the ring markers that are up here, and when you earn these, you put them down here to get your bonuses. So I like that the magnets are there. It's kind of fun instead of being a dual layer board. The rest of it's cardboard, but it's still nice cardboard. And as you're playing, it feels like the other tile placement games that you've played before. So I do feel like you get a good value for the price of the game.
Now, speaking of the competitive aspects of the game, there is a lot of kind of reserving and area control and kind of deciding when you move that gnome, right? So you're working on a path. Obviously, you want to make sure you claim it or else everyone's just kind of eyeing it and they're like, ooh, let's see if he completes it or if he's got to do something else. With the market, if you're trying to save, but someone's about to go to the market before you do to kind of spend everything and block off the point selections there. So there are those aspects to make it competitive. However, it's not too competitive where like, oh no, you took the point thing. Now I can never ever catch up. It's like, no, if I don't get the 8-pointer, I'll get the 7-pointer.
The scoring is based on your ring markers and your flower pots. So when you have your flower pots, you're gonna take it on your board, you're gonna put it on top here, and you're gonna start left to right. And that's gonna be the amount of points that you get. These points here work for both the ring markers and the flower pot. So if I put one flower pot here, that's gonna be 1 point at the end of the game. And then the ring markers are here and you take them off the top. And as you go, whatever you've removed, you're gonna get those points at the end of the game. So if you only have one flower pot at the end of the game, which shouldn't happen, but if you only have one, you only get one. But if you've removed 1, 2, 3, 4 of the ring markers, then you'll get 10 points for that. Plus, you're going to get points from the mushrooms that you collect and turn in for treasures. And I really like the theming on the treasures because it's not just, oh, here's a coin, here's a 1 coin, here's a 2 coin. It's, oh, here's a special magical key, it's worth 10. Here's a special crystal, it's worth 5. Here's a special button, it's worth 2. Here's a bottle cap, it's worth 1. So I do like the theming on the points that you get. But you're just going to take these, add this, the flower pot, the ring marker, and then your victory tokens, and that's going to be your final score. So easy to keep track of where you are as scoring wise, and easy to keep track of where your opponents are. You just look over at their board and be like, all right, they have that many points, they have that many treasures, so you can kind of gauge where everyone is, and oh, the game's going to end soon. What do I need to do to try to catch up or get more points in case they catch up?
Now, I don't know much about gnome lore or anything like that. I mean, these little treasures are whimsical, right? So it's like, oh, okay, yeah, like you said, your key, your crystal. I wonder how true to the story or the legend it is. Like, oh yeah, obviously gnomes love feathers. Like that's a...
I mean, is there only one gnome lore? Or is there like several different...
I don't know.
No, there's only one set in stone lore.
Right before this, the only other gnome thing that I can think about was that like show. I think it was called like Gnomeo and Juliet, but that was about like lawn gnomes and stuff, which...
The Gnome-mobile. Lots of gnome stuff.
I kind of commented on it. I really like just the chill aspect of it. It might just be me. I mean, I'm sure there's those out there who like can look at this and really like turn it into a super competitive, like aggressive, like style game. But for me, I just like the mellow and chill vibes.
So my like is also going to lead into my dislike, because I really like the mechanics of this game. It's a fun, cute theme. I like the gnome theme. I like the chillness, like Lee mentions. I like the tile placement. I like having to figure out how to create your ring. And I like the set collection of collecting your mushrooms and turning into victory points. I love all of that. However, my dislike is I like all that with a lot of other games. Cascadia, Power Plants, just 2 that we mentioned. There's a couple others. I do think this is better than some, but not better than others. If you've never played that game before and you just played this, you're like, oh yeah, I really love this game. However, because we have played a lot of those games and tile placement, set collection type games have been really popular over the past couple of years, I don't really see this setting itself apart from those. What about you? What do you dislike about it?
It's not a big thing. When I first, like I said, when I'm setting up my board and the magnets really caught my attention, I was like, ooh, I wonder what else could happen with these. But that was basically it. I wish maybe the magnets were a little bit more involved, but yeah, that's about it. Overall, I had fun playing this game. The theming with the mushrooms and gnomes and everything, it's a little bit different, but similar to other in terms of like mechanics and all the other things there. So while I did have fun, as Kenny kind of mentioned, we do have other games that are similar or a little bit better. So I think this will be probably something that I'll probably give away.
Overall, I really enjoyed this game. However, as I've already mentioned throughout this review, I like other games with similar mechanics better. So I would recommend it to you if you've never played a tile placement game. This is a fun one, especially if your kids haven't played tile placement games. I would recommend trying this one out. However, for me, I don't think this game's gonna remain in our collection. And that was our review of Gnome Hollow.
What'd you think? Is this a yes or a gnome for your game night? Let us know in the comments below.
Once again, we'd like to thank the publisher for sending us a copy so that we could do this review video. And as always, if you're enjoying our content, please like this video, subscribe to our channel.
Until next time, I'm Lee.
And I'm Kenny. I go party like a board gamer.